Imagine condescending someone so hard they have like a mental breakdown. That's fucking crazy, isn't it? She is very open about her disabilities and claims to create a safe space. I know what's coming. Rampant disregard of the triggers and trauma of others in the house was also a continual issue. I'm having an episode, please turn it down, I can't cope. Shut the fuck up. Maybe sticking a bunch of mentally ill people into a house together to run things isn't a good idea. Stated to me on multiple occasions that she believed that Max is faking multiple of their disabilities. There was also blatant disregard for the autism of others. Made me think I've got DID. I was like, what the fuck is this? Why do I think I'm plural now? The trans ethnostate. He said, she said situation. The dog was purchased with one of the roommate's inheritance money, even though the same roommate voiced the fear of German shepherds because they were bit by one in the past. You Gusano, you Gusano. Oh my god. She requires an amount of attention a house full of disabled queer people cannot provide. People were mocked and scolded for not beating the dog when she misbehaves. Whether it is the misuse of camp funds for things like 2 ATVs and Buffalo Wild Wings. Wild Wings and ATV memes. I can explain, I know exactly what that is. So basically, there was someone called... What was their name? Oh my god, this is the problem with the Humegalo issue, is you can't remember them. Izzybear and a bunch of numbers. 3 numbers after that. What was it? Izzybear something. Anyway, Izzybear. Oh man, I've got to go over that again. Oh man, I could do it now. I could do it right now. Anyway, the long story short... I don't know where the fucking tweet is. Long story short, okay? Here's the situation. In the midst of my drama, when... allegations most foul were made against me, Izzybear blocked me with a comment that said, I don't fuck with abusers. Okay, so she was calling me an abuser or something like that. Abuser, groomer, some shitty word for me, right? So she blocked me and made a big deal out of it alongside lots of other people, right? But what was funny is that a couple of months after this happened, after my drama happened, this person called Kalia Withheart, who is a Twitter fucking nutter as well, released her allegations about Izzybear. Now, Izzybear is someone who you may be familiar with from sort of knocking about Twitch politics a couple of years ago. Famously, they had some beef with like Destiny, as most people have, and they were very friendly with people like the Surfs and stuff like that, right? Okay. So you might well be familiar with them if you've kind of been around for a little while. And they were like just a kind of obnoxious person that happened to be trans. It was really fucking annoying sometimes, right? And like at the time, it was presumed they, although had some faults and issues, that they were actually, you know, in terms of how they engaged in the space, they were actually doing like some good advocacy. They had this thing called like Unicorn Ranch, I think, or something like that. And it was basically like a trans commune. So if you're a trans person, you could go there and you'd be looked after and all this kind of shit, right? So Kalia Withart was someone who was part of this. Kalia, another person that kind of shat on me over my allegations. Fuck you. Let me just get that out there quickly, okay? So anyway, this Izzybear person, if anyone's got any clips, by the way, feel free to link them so I can show you the kind of like demeanor that Izzybear had. It was fucking insufferable, right? So Izzybear kind of went about the place and worked with the Surfs to kind of solicit donations for this unicorn trans commune thing she was doing, and got like funds through other means and stuff like that, right? Anyway, about a year and a half ago, probably a bit less than that, but anyway, turns out Izzybear, Unicorn Ranch, whatever it's called, isn't quite what it seems. And this presentation of it being this safe space that trans people can come to and everything's going to be based, start to fall apart. You'll see where the memes come from in a sec, but let's get into it, okay? Does everyone understand where we're starting from, though? I appreciate some of you already know this, but if you don't, do you have at least a base level understanding of kind of where we are so that you can understand some of the context? Well, I don't know how else to explain it. Let's get into it. Oh, sorry, one other bit of memeage as well. Izzybear was a mod for Hassan, and Izzybear was fundamental in Hassan getting removed from Irrelevant, getting removed from Hassan's mod team. So Izzybear was kind of playing silly buggers behind the scenes, trying to like smear Irrelevant to get him kicked off the mod team. Do you remember that? That's another secret meme. Okay, let's read. Trust me, I know it's a bit dry reading this, but you're going to love it. Izzybear713 in the house. Trigger warning, abuse and manipulation. This is going to be a lot, unfortunately. Below will be the accounts of Isabella Hammond, aka Izzybear713's treatment of multiple members of the house. The connecting link between all of these accounts is a pattern of mental, emotional, and economic abuse that ran rampant in the household for 2.5 years. Some housemates chose to compile their experiences into bullet points, others wrote in paragraphs. On top of that, some housemates chose to be anonymous, and that will be respected. Mudgy. I was not aware of the abuse I was suffering, let alone the abuse others in the household were suffering. I'm complicit in the perpetuation of the abuse of others in the household by being unaware of it and not mediating as a result. By being complicit, I have harmed many in our community, and for that I cannot apologise enough. Going forward, I'm going to focus on the stability of the household, then do what I can to make it up to the community. By Sunday, 14th of March 2021, so this was like literally a couple of months after my drama, I processed enough information to know I was going to break up with Bella, but wait until the furnace was installed with donation money so as to prevent more financial abuse. The donation money in the furnace, you'll understand more later. On Monday, 15th of March 2021, a friend of Bella's arrived at the house, unannounced and unmasked, midst of COVID, inside the house, violating commune COVID protocols. This was my absolute breaking point, and I planned to move up the breakup. During the late hours of Monday and the wee hours of Tuesday, a board member of the board Bella is president of set boundaries around no longer wanting to be part of the board as a result of manipulation, lack of training, and not being a member of the serf communities. Bella responded with condensation to the point of sending the receiver into a panic attack. Jesus. What the fuck? So condescending, you give someone a panic attack. I think I mean condescending. Imagine condescending someone so hard they have like a mental breakdown. That's fucking crazy, isn't it? I wish I had that power, honestly. Okay. This became the catalyst for my confrontation. I confronted Bella at 2 a.m. Tuesday, 16th of March 2021, about a continual gaslighting, steamrolling, and disregard of myself and others in the household. Oh my god, I just remember Chips. That's a good meme as well. We'll get to that. She responded to this confrontation by gaslighting, steamrolling, and disregard for what I was saying. There were several witnesses to this confrontation, and some have requested to remain anonymous. The confrontation ended with me requesting the money raised for the furnace for the house and the statement, "I don't care what you do," in reference to them staying or leaving. I never kicked anyone out because I truly loved the child and I wanted to have the best possible life. On 18th of March 2021, I was sent a message at 6:40 p.m. that they would be arriving with a mediator for a mediation that I did not agree to. The mediator is not someone who can be unbiased, as she has personal and professional relationships with both Bella and I. The mediator reaffirmed much of Bella's gaslighting and participation in tone policing of victims. By the way, can I just point out, we're only like a couple of sentences in. This is a fucking shit show already, okay? These people want to break away from society, which they've somewhat done here with this commune shit, and they think that they've got the wherewithal, the knowledge, and the ability to run things better, or they've got an idea of how to do things, you know, versus the world we exist in now. Like, it's fucking delusional, isn't it? It's fucking delusional. Like, what is even going on here? You got some person to come in, there's a conflict of interest. I mean, fuck me, it's mental. Google Final Fantasy House. Okay. It is highly recommended that victims of abuse do not participate in mediation with their abusers, and the mediator, as a mental health professional, should be aware of this. Now that I've summed up the past week, I'm going to move on to the systemic abuse Bella has perpetuated against my household. We are all aware that Bella is trans and disabled. She is very open about her disabilities and claims to create a safe space. I know what's coming. And claims to create safe spaces for neurodiverse and disabled folk. They did not go beyond the public persona. In the house, Bella routinely pushed people past their boundaries physically and mentally. If our trauma or disability wasn't bad enough by her standards, then we were able enough to do everything she told us to do. As part of this, we did not have the ability to say no or I don't have the capacity in any manner to her. If we set and maintained a boundary around our disabilities, we would be gaslit, steamrolled and disregarded. See, the thing is, I'm in two minds about this, because if it's like, oh, I can't wash my bowl up, I'm having an episode. I mean, you know, how seriously do we take that? Is there an aspect to this which people are using it as a crutch, or do people genuinely have an issue? But also, Bella does seem to be one of these kinds of people, based on this, it's only the testimony, obviously, but seems to be the kind of person that would present this very lovely persona. And it just kind of shows, like, when the cold, hard reality comes in, though, it's... You know, oh, you're neurodivergent? You're neurodivergent, are you? Well, you think I'll give a fuck about that? The dishes need washing. You know, the washing machine needs filling, right? The floor needs sweeping, right? If you're tucked up in a ball on your bed blobbing it up, how is this shit going to get done? Get on with it. I don't know. It gives me that kind of vibe. Do you know what I mean? Rampant disregard of the triggers and trauma of others in the house was also a continual issue. We could not ask Bella to turn down her music or media when, when we were triggered or overwhelmed without flack. Imagine this, she's just blasting out this fucking like 100 decibel music. It's fucking deafening in the house. Bella, please, I can't hear. I'm having an episode. Please turn it down. I can't cope. Shut the fuck up. I'm listening to my music. Go to your bedroom if you don't like it. But it's even worse in there, the vibrations. The vibrations are doing me in. Fuck off. I don't know, that's what I imagine. That's what I envision happening. You know? Please turn down 100 gex, I'm getting anxious. Oh my god. Please, not death grips at 100 decibels. It makes me feel weird in my head. Please, not the rap metal again. It makes the shadow people manifest. The shadow people keep manifesting. Please stop. No. Just looks over, just turns it up an extra fucking 10 notches. Anyway, stop being disableist. Okay. We could not ask Bella to... Okay, I, even as a significant other, did not feel safe or comfortable to ask Bella to stop doing things that triggered me. And the few times I absolutely had to, I need to put specifically how and why I was triggered to be heard. We did not navigate Bella's boundaries. We navigated our traumas. Bella does not... Okay, right. Hot take. Maybe sticking a bunch of mentally ill people into a house together to run things isn't a good idea. Listen, call me fucking crazy, but maybe we should be considerate that that's not necessary. I mean, if you went to it's like handing the keys over to the fucking mental asylum patients, isn't it? Right, guys, you're all fucking completely schizo. Here's the keys. Off you go. Have a good time with it. Break stuff, Limp Biscuit, 12-hour version. Bella does not maintain healthy boundaries, and anyone not professional personally resulting in her taking out any people around her. So, to navigate around this, we interacted with Bella based on what trauma responses she triggered. This resulted in a lot of avoidance of Bella from multiple people as we were unable to maintain our mental health around her. She systematically played everyone in the house. She intentionally kept key people separate in an effort to be in control of the situations going on. Divide and conquer was how she maintained not being called out or confronted for so long. She created an inner circle and abused the power within. As the homeowner, I did not feel as if I could say anything against Bella wanted for the household, even when what Bella wanted wasn't going to benefit any of us outside of her. And many decisions were based on how will Bella react instead of what is best for the house. Well, the thing that you need to bear in mind, here, okay, is that in reality, we don't know the truth of what's happened here. And obviously some of this stuff, I say there's no receipts, but that's probably because there can't be receipts. Maybe messages you could share if there's something there. But the problem you've got is a lot of this is interperson interaction. So how do you even prove that happened, you know? Bella created an environment where none of us could dissent. We could not speak up for ourselves or others. She claimed to be someone who could go to, but her words and behaviour screamed otherwise. I only ended up in confronting her how and when I did because I couldn't handle her abuse anymore. I brought issues to her in the past and got gaslit, steamrolled and disregarded every time. I hated when Bella needed to talk to me because I knew I was going to get steamrolled into agreeing with her because it wasn't a safe environment to state my thoughts, feelings and opinions. Now, let's touch some ableism. Bella was blatantly ableist to the house. Stated to me on multiple occasions that she believed that Max is faking multiple of their disabilities. There was also blatant disregard for the autism of others. Oh, that's such a quality line. That is a fucking banger. There was also blatant disregard for the autism of others. So good. This Twitlonger is a fucking work of art, I swear to God. Unintentionally, of course. It's such a good line. Let's find out more about this blatant disregard for the autism of others, okay? And implications that plural folk are faking it, including myself. Okay, right. This is in relation to dissociative identity disorder, okay? Now, look, I'm going to be real with you, okay? If you have got dissociative identity disorder, my understanding is that it's a genuine condition. It's a bit misunderstood, but there are people that genuinely suffer from it, and it is suffer, right? These people have got genuine, like, diagnosed medical issues that cause them discomfort, problems, issues, etc., right? However, what's happened is it's been TikTokized and fucking Tumblrized, so that now all you need to do is go, hey guys, I'm plural. Yeah, my name's Jack. My name's Jack and I'm a racist. Oh, hi, I'm Stephanie. Ooh, like, I'm not shitting you, right? It is not like you need to go get diagnosed. Some people will genuinely self-diagnose this disorder and, you know, they're plural and they've got different alters, right? Like the fucking Geth, like that one character, the Legion from Mass Effect. It's like fucking 50 different units in one thing. And they've got all these different personalities and apparently they fucking skip through them and stuff like that. I mean, I watched some TikToks about it the other day. Didn't I do a meme once where it was like I was a plural and one of my alters was a racist northern guy or something. That was a good meme. Anyway, so well, let's look it up. Dissociative identity disorder. Two or more separate personalities. These identities control a person's behavior at different times. DID can cause gaps in memory and other problems. Various types of psychotherapy can help. Anyway, have you not seen Moon Knight? Hang on a fucking minute. Have you not seen Moon Knight? It's definitely real. It's in fucking Moon Knight. Are you kidding me? Anyway, it is an exceptionally rare disorder. But again, because of the TikTokization of it, you've now got all these people that self-identify as having it. And it's like, where do we stop this fucking nonsense? Like, look, if you've got and the thing is as well, it's kind of like, it's glamorized too. Like, from what I've read about it, DID is like, you genuinely like suffer from it. It's terrible. It's terrible if you have it. Because you have like memory loss, like, you know, it's, well, maybe if we read on it, will say, DID is very rare. The disorder affects between 0.01 and 1% of the population. Women are more likely to have it than men. Let's go. Men rise up. DID is usually the result of sexual or physical abuse during childhood. Jesus, chill out. Some people have up to 100 alters. Jesus. Is there a test? Anyway, I can't remember where I read it, but like basically it fucking sucks to have and it causes issues. Now, some people are skeptical about it even existing. I think it exists. I think it's a genuine mental health condition. I just think that it's massively overstated by people online that they've got it. And people use it as like, oh, guys, I'm a quirky plural person. Look, I've got all these different alters. And it's like, no, you fucking don't. Okay? I tell you what. Where's your fucking diagnosis, motherfucker? Okay? Where's your medical file? Okay? Because guess what? If you've got a mental health condition, right? And, you know, you want it to be dealt with, that's fine. But I don't think that you can fucking say you've got a mental health condition, present as it online and make it sound fucking cool, and then do nothing to treat it. That seems crazy to me. And let's say you do genuinely have it. I don't think untreated mental health conditions are a particularly good way of handling it. So yeah, fuck off with that bullshit. They probably were faking it, okay? Most of these fuckers are faking most of the shit they got going on, okay? Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a fucking spade a spade. I'm coming out as anti-fake DID hardcore. I'm sick of it, okay? I watched some TikToks the other day, and it made me go fucking insane. It made me go fucking insane, right? It made me think I've got DID. I was like, what the fuck is this? Why do I think I'm plural now? What is this bullshit? Hopefully my alter's going to be not racist, and then I'll be able to fucking stream on Twitch without too many issues. Anyway, let's continue on, okay? Bella was very unhappy that I also pointed out the ways in which she manipulates and perpetuates abuse of Ali. Bella became immediately more defensive and used retorts such as how she cuddles Ali when Ali is super upset, or other behaviours that don't negate steamrolling Ali and using Ali's inability to stand up for herself against her. Ali and Athena as victims of Bella's abuse. Ali assists in perpetuating this abuse because she's been manipulated at home and at work by abusers. Do you know the other thing as well with like all of this stuff, right? These people's lives, they seem to be surrounded by fucking abusers at every turn. Like they literally can't turn a corner without getting fucking abused by someone, okay? Listen, not everyone's a fucking abuser, all right? I think abuse is something that's bad and happens, of course, but like the way that they say it, it's like every single person they ever interact with is trying to abuse them in some way. Fuck me. Athena has been used as a pawn by Bella. She resents Athena, and it can be seen in what little interactions take place. The primary interactions Bella has with Athena are on stream or discipline. Frequently, her physical limitations got in the way of being able to play with Athena, and I'm not knocking that. Bella also would disregard Athena's comfort with stimuli such as music and movie volumes consistently. Athena is also enrolled in a school that perpetuates applied behaviour analysis, commonly known as conversion therapy for autistic folks. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's not going to go down too well in a house of autists, is it? I don't even know what that is, to be honest. I guess it's like, is it the Autism Speak stuff? Does anyone know anything about it? I mean, most of you are autistic, so you probably should have a bit of an insight. I don't think that there's... My understanding is autism isn't something you can really cure. I don't know if there's something curable there. I think it's just something you've got to manage and work with. You can manage it, but I think it's... I mean, my understanding, I don't know a lot about it, but I don't think it's possible to cure autism. Yeah, it's like how your brain is and shit, yeah. I don't think it's a case of wanting to stay autistic. I think that there's a line there, and it's like... I think people want to help alleviating the symptoms. And I think that like some people might think you can cure it in some way, and that could potentially involve shitty things like happening to people. Like this ABA could genuinely be shitty for them. I don't know the ins and outs of it, you know? So I don't think it's necessarily being against this means, oh, they're against the idea of like helping or something. It could just be that there isn't a way to cure it, and there's misapplied means by which people try and do it, and it fucks people up. But yeah, obviously, yeah, like you say in chat there, I think most autistic people are kind of skeptical or outright critical of this stuff. But I don't know. You might know more about it than I do. I don't know much. I don't know much about it. The state of Maine statutes only pay for ABA, so technically that is all okay by the state, even though it harms autistic folks. The state of Maine statutes only pay for ABBA, so technically that is all okay by the state, even though it harms... Oh, I've read that bit already. I'm aware that by working there for a period of time, I participated in the abuse, and I'm struggling to come to terms with perpetuating that harm against the youth of my community. Bella's gaslighting, steamrolling, and disregard of partners and others in the house has been brought up before with no change in the behaviours. The behaviours have also been brought up on multiple occasions. Looking back, it feels like she doubled down at every intersection that she could. Myself and others have stifled our true selves, so the entirety of our relationships with Bella as a result. We do not feel safe disclosing traumas, changes in diagnoses of triggers. Hey, we're not respected when anyone dared. So, I'll give my genuine take without the memes after each bit I read, okay? So, the thing to bear in mind is it is purely just this person's testimony of what happened. There's no evidence supplied, so all we can really do is go off what they said. And I think Bella did respond and even streamed from somewhere, and she was talking about moving some stuff. I can't really remember. But yeah, Bella obviously just denied all of this and did the thing where, where they just say Darvo. They go, Darvo, it's Darvo. It's like, okay, well, you're going to say that, aren't you? What's Darvo? Divert, acquiesce. I can't remember what it is. It's basically where you subvert it. You subvert it so that you're doing it to the other person. Someone in chat must know. They just screamed Darvo at you. Anyway, let's continue on. Okay. Hey!
Kuma's Orphe call to TikTokers. You may only shove one group into the trankar. Which do you choose, Chudman?
Fake alter TikTokers are very good at social media in terms of promoting themselves, so I think they've got more value to society than Kumas. Take from that what you will. Heather. Okay. No worries, Magnetar. Thanks for coming by. So yeah, obviously it's just testimony. It's he said, she said. But obviously if what is said is true in any respect, and there's probably some truth somewhere in it. Yeah, Bella seems to be pretty reasonably assumed to be the kind of person who will perpetuate this image of themselves as like a great person, and I do all the best stuff for all these minorities, but dig a bit deeper, scratch beneath the surface, and it's not all what it seems. This is where the memes are going to start coming thick and fast, guys, okay? In October, we left California and drove to Maine in order to work on Camp Unicorn, a mutual aid project run by Bella. Yes, Camp Unicorn, that was it. It's been a long dream of ours to help manage and run a commune for trans people who need help and a little escape from society. I don't know. Maybe there's other ways that we can do this than creating the fucking the trans ethno-state. Because I'm going to be honest with you, seems to be a few problems with this. Let's be real. And Bella's idea of Camp Unicorn seemed to align with that very well. Unfortunately, that has completely fallen apart over the past few months. We moved to Maine under the pretenses that Camp Unicorn was secure in its funding, something which we had also witnessed through Bella's Twitch campaigns. So, basically, Bella was always fundraising for Camp Unicorn. Okay? And she even worked alongside people like the Surfs to do fundraising streams. And obviously, right... It's like red meat. It's like red meat to a tiger. Bunch of trans people living in a commune somewhere that are desperate. Give us money, right? If I wanted to grift, that would be me, right? Guys, I'm setting up a trans commune. Give me loads of money because I'm going to have a bunch of trans people that are in trouble. It's a fucking no-brainer, right? It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Not long after we arrived in Maine, we noticed that the funds were diminishing. Sometimes there are excuses, and sometimes not. By the end of November, we came to the conclusion that Bella's PayPal, where the Camp Unicorn funds were held, really acted as a slush fund for discretionary spending. We had asked for the money to be moved to a savings account to be told no. In retrospect, we should have pushed harder for this. The lines of what is and isn't Camp Unicorn related continued to get blurred until Camp Unicorn just wasn't feasible. With any hope of Camp Unicorn slowly down the drain, We settled into Mudgie's home and started doing what we could to help out around the house. Bella made it known, in no uncertain terms, that the house was struggling financially, with people behind on bills and blatantly referencing food insecurity. As we were able-bodied and financially secured, we made trips out to the stores roughly every other day and started cooking dinner more frequently. So, quick question. What the fuck did these people do all day? Like, what is it these people did? Did they actually have a job or something? Did they have some sort of job, or were they just hanging about, scraping in donations as best they could? Like, you know, go and work a 9 to 5 or something. I don't know. It was... It was like the Phase House, but for autistic systems. System is the name for DID people, that they call themselves. Imagine Phase, but it's full of autistic systems that have got alleged DID. I mean, I don't know. The autistic bit sounds kind of like Phase in itself, but... Oh yeah, they were always shitting on Destiny, weren't they? You Gusano fuck! You Gusano fuck! Oh my god! Like, Jesus. Slurs are okay when I say them, apparently. Like, what the fuck? Do you remember that one guy that said about Destiny having blue eyes? Do you remember the fucking blue eye thing? Oh my god, that was so funny. From that fucking Zots guy. That Zots loser. Another casualty to fucking... I don't even know what Zots does anymore. Yeah, there's like blue eyes. Must be a Nazi type meme. That was crazy. And the thing is, he corrected himself, but like... The toothpaste's out of the tube, man. We can see your thought process there. But I've not heard from Kamazots in, like, ages. The soys of truly, you know, disappeared. Gone onto the arc. I don't know of what. Neurodivergency. Right. Cooking dinner more frequently. Additionally, Bella nearly only drinks soda... and smokes roughly 3/4 of a pack a day. She only paid for her drinks and cigarettes roughly half the time, directly stating on occasion that she would pay me back. Right, guys. Okay, listen. Little finance tip for you guys, okay? I know this is a bit of a forehead take potentially, but here's a finance tip that I've got for you. If you're short on money, don't buy cigarettes. I know you're addicted to it. I know it's tough. I know it's hard. But just a little personal finance tip. Don't smoke forehead. Don't buy loads of soda. Like, maybe the smoking thing is like, okay, well, if you're addicted, I kind of get that. It's going to be a bit tougher, but try at least. Maybe cut it down to half a pack a day. I don't know. But soda? Like, that is literally like luxury. That is literally fucking luxury. Use your tap, for fuck's sake. Water comes out of it. Luxury is in like, that sounds like, it's not like caviar, but it's an unnecessary expenditure if you don't have much money, right?
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Chud Bud,
hey, thank you for the sub.
Long, and I must say I'm very disappointed that I forgot to unsub from this dusty ass channel /s.
I don't know. I don't think coffee is a luxury. I think coffee is fairly inexpensive, and you can easily afford coffee. Like, how much is a pack of coffee that will last you a month, right? I think stuff like that is like not a luxury. I think that's fairly reasonable. But like soda, depending on how you buy it, can be very expensive for what you get, right? Is that bootstraps? I don't even know anymore. Is it bootstraps to say if you don't have much money, lay off the cigarettes a bit, at least cut down a bit? Is that bootstraps? I'm not even saying quit, because I understand that you're addicted and it might not be that easy, right? But do you think maybe could you manage half a pack a day? Is that too much to ask? I don't know anymore. And the thing is as well, is like, I feel like giving that take, people will say, oh, people need to have a, luxury or whatever. And it's like, but it's fucking cigarettes. They're making your health worse as well. And it's like, I get it's addictive. I get all the bad shit, but fuck me. Like, is it possible to just take a step back and be like, okay, maybe I can cut down on the cigarettes a little bit? I mean, yeah, if it's cigarettes are a meal. And the thing is I'm not advocating for pure poverty. I'm not saying you can never spend money on anything nice. But even then, if you're buying half a pack, if you're doing 3/4 of a pack, That's like what, three packs every 2 days,
Welcome
is it?
to
Is that right?
Chud Nation.
Hey Hannah, thank you for the
Hannah
sub.
Thing gifted a tier 1 sub to PB_and_Jan. They have given 20 gifts.
If you could cut back just a little bit, you're going to have more money to maybe spend on other things if you can't do it completely. How much does a pack of 20 cigarettes cost in the US? Over here, I think it costs about £13. It's quite heavily taxed. Like $15 for a pack of 20. How much is it over in the US? $8. Depends on the state. $10. Yeah, let's say $10. Keep it simple. $15. Probably depends where you live. I'd imagine that taxation is going to be different dependent on the state. Anyway, like, I know it's difficult, and I fully support and advocate for, like, whatever support is available to help you stop smoking. And ideally, like, the ideal solution would be that even if you have to pay to stop smoking, that solution is cheaper than buying cigarettes. And I want to say that's the case. I'm pretty sure, like, nicotine patches and whatever, I think they're cheaper than cigarettes, I want to say. Just roll your own. No, just quit. Easy. There's a meme that Asmongold forgot what water tastes like. Yeah, I drink a lot. I need to be careful. I drink a lot of soda. Supreme, the thing is I want to agree with you, mate. I really do. But, like, I'm like...
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Is it that easy?
Hannah Thing gifted a tier 1 sub to
Well, what about the
Wicked
addiction
Supreme.
element?
They
How
have
do you...
given 21 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you very much, Hannah, for the gifted sub. What about the addiction element? How do you sort of bring that into it, right? Because I agree with your sentiment, but if someone's addicted, it's like, it feels a bit like, you know, just stop doing that. And it's like, if there's an addiction there, there needs to be ways to manage that to bring people off, I think. Anyway, I don't want to get into the weeds on it. Each time I quit cold turkey, you're just fucking built different, I guess, mate. I did it so everyone else should be able to do it. I don't know, mate. Are you just saying it's about willpower? Okay, well. Anyway, I don't want to get in the weeds on it. I somewhat agree, but I don't know. Okay. Fair enough. I'm a bit more considerate of the smoking. Capitalism made her addicted. Oh, shut up, IRI, you fucking liberal shill. My politics are don't be a little bitch. Anyway, we were never given full information about the financial situation here, of course, but crunching through the numbers with an understanding of the take-home pays of some... Oh, they did have some take-home pay somewhere. Of some and other incomes of others, it was never likely the case that we were in financial jeopardy. While we don't mind buying food and general home supplies as they would go to everyone in the house, we do mind being directly lied to, and the soda and smokes going to someone who was fiscally okay should have been reimbursed. We're down a couple of $1,000 since moving to Maine. Jesus. But from what we now understand from our roommates, we got off easy compared to some of them. Apart from the strange minor financial manipulation, we also faced issues with accessibility in the house. Bella would frequently play music so loud that it triggered panic attacks in multiple people, myself included. What was she playing and at what volume to trigger panic attacks in the whole house? That's mental. I want to... Wait a second. Oh my God. This was Bella's evening music, probably. Imagine this. Imagine you're a neurodivergent, did fucking wannabe person, and this is playing. That's what I envision. That's my headcanon. That's my headcanon. Is that was the kind of stuff she was playing? Okay. This was constantly playing. You know in like CIA black sites, where she plays this through the walls. What's this? That's another good meme. But yeah, anyway. There we go, folks. There's the memes. We made it explicitly clear to her that we get overstim issues from the noise and the various screens in the living room for that to be completely disregarded. We began wearing earplugs around the house in order to mitigate some of the noise before our ears got too sore from wearing them. Oh my God, this is like a fucking comedy. This is like a comedy show. Jesus. Eventually, a lot of the house members... Oh, what's this? Until Bella... So they went downstairs, they complained about that as well. Okay? They complained about that as well. Despite constant complaints, there were no changes in her actions. In addition to accessibility issues was plural phobia. On the 23rd of December, we inadvertently said some things that led Bella to believe that one of her partners was plural. Her response was to complain angrily how this partner didn't out themselves to her about their pluralness to them. This struck fear in us and the other systems in the house, creating a hostile space. What the fuck is this? You really want these people in charge of anything? Are you fucking serious? Yes, plural is like DID. This what they plural is like I've got dissociative identity disorder. I've got basically multiple personality disorder, and I've got alters, and there's different people that take control of my body. Plural noir. Yes. Yet another tragic example of plural noir on display. Unbelievable. Her response was to complain angrily how this partner didn't out themselves to her about their pluralness to them. This struck fear in us and the other systems in the house, creating a hostile space. Struck fear. A few weeks later, when pressed by us for clarification, she further pushed this point before announcing in a house meeting how she has no problems with plural folks. The situation seemed resolved and we started being more open about our pluralness. Our roommates, apart from Bella and Ali, all addressed us by who was fronting or said some variation of Heather and Jake. With this confidence in Bella's word, and knowing that Bella was in the middle of revamping her Discord, we posted in the suggestions channel about adding Plural Kit, an important accessibility tool for systems in order to communicate accurately on Discord. Our post was deleted and never addressed. There was some plural person that claimed to be plural in my Discord, and they asked for like some sort of Discord bot, and I was like, what is it? And it was so that they could more accurately represent their I just no. I'm not putting in a bot so one person can fucking do some bullshit I don't even believe in. No thank you. Okay? If you've got this issue, Discord isn't to sort it out. Go to a therapist, okay? Go to a fucking therapist and sort that shit out, okay? I'm not interested in fucking folding my Discord around all of your needs, all right? Anyway, I support this. I support this. I support Bella's actions in this. Thank you for the bits.
I understand Izzybear going crazy and starting smoking living with these people.
Bella's blatant disregard for people led to a confrontation between her and two of my roommates a couple of days before this message was written. After one of my roommates, who is agoraphobic, went out to help retrieve wood for the wood furnace along with us and another roommate, a group of white guys in a sedan rolled up on us completely unannounced. They got out of their car, unmasked. They got out of the car masked and not so friends with Bella. Our roommate, after helping us unload wood, went downstairs to decompress after being out of the house having unknown, unannounced people roll up on her in a car. With hardly any time passed, Bella started pestering this roommate about things my roommate doesn't understand with regards to a volunteer position she was railroaded and coaxed into by Bella. Our roommate said she didn't understand and expressed her frustrations, but Bella kept pushing. Bella doesn't take no for an answer. Eventually, our roommate announced her resignation from the position, and Bella started berating and abusing her via text. Mudgy, having already been condescended to by Bella that day, did not stand for this, and the confrontation began. Mudgy brought up Bella's history of disregarding people, steamrolling and gaslighting, and Bella responded by disregarding Mudgy, steamrolling and gaslighting. Today is the 19th, and Bella, Ali and Athena have moved out. They took with them all the money fundraised for the furnace, property that was paid for with other people's money, and a lot of tension in the house. We may be struggling in the short term, replacing all the things that were taken when they moved out, but we should hopefully be fine in the long term. What is not fine in any capacity are the lies and deception that we helped enable. We recognise that money, raised under the guise of mutual aid in a project we were directly associated with, was being spent in ridiculous ways, and we did not do enough to stop or mitigate this. We know many people in the community put a lot of hope, faith and money into this project, and we were complicit in laying everyone down. We're incredibly sorry, though we recognise being sorry is not going to change the material reality of trans folks in a place like Camp Unicorn. We want to do what we can to try to make it up to the community. Our goals in moving to Maine have not changed, and we're still going to do what we can to help. As we move forward, stabilise and reassess, we'll continue on our mutual aid efforts. Our one request to the community, the only request is most certainly not earned by us, is to please help us understand what we can do to make this right. Heather and Jake May. I mean, yeah, some pretty big claims. Again, just words. He said, she said situation. One funny thing I noted is that all this kind of group have basically, there used to be like this really kind of strong community of these types of people, and they've all fractured off. They've all fractured off kind of indefinitely, ongoing, and now they all fucking hate each other, basically. So yeah, bigot, that's me, baby. I'm a bigot, all right. Kalia, on Michelle. Okay. This is the fucking... Chips! Chips! Not chips! Oh, it's such good memes. On Michelle, in November of 2020, Bella called a house meeting to discuss the unsafe conditions of an elder trans woman, Michelle. During the meeting, Bella made it clear that regardless of the consensus of the house, she would be inactivating an executive authority to do what she thought best. Regardless of the fact that the house was more than happy to assist and shelter Michelle, Bella's ability to instate her will in what was supposed to be a democratic process is telling. On election day that same November, Michelle moved into the household and has been a welcome member ever since. Bella was more than happy to express the fact that she saved Michelle from an abusive situation to all who asked. Which brings us to the fallout that happened earlier this week. After Mudgy had finished confronting Bella on the multiple abuses they had experienced and had been properly gaslit for their trouble, Bella had messaged a member of the house that was wholly detached from the situation but contributes heavily monetarily to the household, offering to take them within a move out. The same offer was never extended to Michelle, who has no income. This wasn't a surprise because over the course of the 5-month time period that Michelle was here, Bella has never taken an active role in ensuring Michelle's needs were met. Bella's care for the community she serves begins and ends with her online persona. Ooh, it's all for clout, apparently. On Chips, Bella's dog. Chips! Chips! Not Chips. Surely not Chips. Poor Chips. Chips got the absolute worst of it, unfortunately. Poor Chips. To the testament of the house, Chips was purchased without everyone's consent or comfort taken into consideration for some, to an active dissent for others. The dog was purchased with one of the roommates' inheritance money, even though this same roommate voiced a fear of German Shepherds because they were bit by one in the past, but was coerced and steamrolled into saying yes to the purchase. Chips is a young, energetic and anxiety-ridden dog. What? Why has everyone got fucking anxiety problems? What the fuck is that about? It's out of control. It's totally out of control. She requires an amount of attention a house full of She requires an amount of attention a house full of disabled queer people cannot provide. Okay, I've got to be honest with you. If you're so anxiety-ridden, if you're so disabled and queer that you can't even look after a fucking dog, what hope have you got for anything else? This is fucking Bedblob City. This is fucking Bedblob City right here. It has been described to me this has always been the case, but Bella said that Chips could be trained. As of March, the training in which Chips had been subject to has basically been akin to animal abuse. She's beaten for any transgressions. A dog whistle is used whenever she gets anxious, and if not for the other members of the house, she would receive little to no attention. She cannot be left alone and needs to be continually monitored. I mean, what's the problem there? None of you ever go outside. Which doesn't even happen even if Bella has a direct line of sight on her. People were mocked and scolded for not beating the dog when she misbehaves. These fucking lines are just fucking... I forgot how good some of these lines were. This is like absolute banging memes. Fuck me. I need to dig back into some of this quirky, weird drama shit that some of you might not know. Chips routinely recalls in fear of getting hit if you approach her, even semi-silently. We have all in the house expressed our displeasure with Chips, multiple of us saying she deserved a better, larger home with people that can properly take care of her. But until it became Bella's sole responsibility to care for Chip and their move, their sentiment has gone ignored. Though all of this was never an ounce of self-reflection or regret, Bella took pride in her treatment of the dog, often relishing the fact that she beat the shit out of Chips. From what I understand, Chips has been relocated to a new home. I can only hope she receives the amount of love and care she deserves and never would receive from Bella. On summation, I've been complicit in a lot of the actions Bella has taken. Here we go, this is it. Whether it is the misuse of camp funds for things like 2 ATVs and Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, like what? This is like a comedy script. It's got to be. How you've written that down unironically? That's the headline. So anyway, we finally got there, and obviously I'll finish reading this. But if you want an answer to your question, where does that line come from? Guys, there's your answer, okay? There's your answer, guys. There's your answer, guys. I can't remember what the meme was, but yeah, it's just, you can imagine a 1 foot over each of the ATVs stretched out with a box full of Buffalo Wild Wings. Scoffing the Wild Wings as she fucking drives off into the sunset. See you later, suckers. Oh. Chips chained to the back getting dragged along. Chips chained trying to run and then it's going too fast so it just falls over and fucking, you know, just gets scraped along the floor until it dies. Fucking hell, poor Chips. The mistreatment of some members of the house or condoning the treatment of Chips. I would love to be able to excuse myself from any of my transgressions, but I can't. On some level, it was an appeasement of Bella, but on a different level that I'm really not happy with myself for, it was my own toxic emotions and the idea that I was being put into basically a position of power after a lifetime of disempowerment. I don't really have an excuse, nor am I asking to be excused. I've been serving the trans and BIPOC communities for the majority of my adult life. I'm going to continue to do that, but first comes setting in place the security and safety of other house members. To all I've hurt or I betray the trust of, I'm sorry. I just want to make things right, and we'll find a way how. Hey!
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Revolt Rise, thanks for the tier 3 sub. Hope you're doing well. Oh no, it's the whites again. Jack's a trish around the quads. I just, like, oh man. I heard Chud used his mobile game sponsorship money to buy 2 ATVs and Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Hey!
Revolt Rise gifted a
Let's
tier
go!
3 sub to
Thank you for the
Gremlin.
gifted tier
They
3,
have
Revolt
given
Rise. Super generous of you.
195 gift subs in the channel.
Little did Camp Unicorn know, all they had to do was get started and all the money problems would have been solved. Well, the thing about that is, like, I don't know where the streams are and if they exist, but there was, like, Izzybear would do endless fundraising streams for Camp Unicorn. You had the Surf supporting her. But yeah, I think the Surfs addressed that, didn't they? Didn't they say, like, how bad it was? I'll never do a charity stream. I'm literally never going to do a charity stream in my entire fucking life. Okay? Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. They're going to start on a grift commune based. More the money, the better the wings, baby. Can you do a charity stream for me? No. I'm going to do an anti-charity stream for you, and it's going to take money out of your bank account. And it's going to like get sent to, I don't know. What's your most hated minority? It's going to go to them, okay? Sucking money out of people's bank accounts to give to a minority you fucking hate. That's my plan. The problem I have with it is if you want to do a charity stream, more power to you, okay? But you notice this a lot. People will wrap up their brand with this sense of like, good, you know, good doing good, you know, they've done a good thing. And then they wrap their brand up in it. And I just really think, I just don't like that. If you want to give to a charity, right, go and find a charity and give some money to them, okay? Charity is a private affair as far as I'm concerned, okay? Yeah, benevolence, like a benevolent, oh, I'm so benevolent, look at me. Charity's personal as far as I'm concerned. If you see a good cause and you got a bit of extra resources, put some money in the pot. Okay, if you want to do some mutual aid thing, more power to you, right? But this stream is a business. I'm a capitalist, and this is a business, and this is about making fucking money. Okay, for me. Yeah, you want to talk about charity? You want to talk about fucking charity, right? I had to take my kids out for a birthday meal the other day to fucking TGI Fridays for 40 quid, about 50 bucks. Yeah, you want to talk about fucking charity? Got to take my kids out to dumb shit like that. That's my charity, okay? Looking after my fucking kids. The Chudlets. How do you feel about companies making you round up to charity when you're purchasing something at a business? I mean, that's kind of like fine. I think people focus a lot on the tax write-off stuff, but I don't think it like necessarily like. I don't think that companies. I don't know how the finances are at work, but I think I would rather companies, even if they've got an incentive to do so, give some money to charity than not, I guess. Like this tax write-off thing, I don't know the full memes on that, but I feel like sometimes it gets a bit overstated just to criticize the company, and it's like, I don't know, I think it's a bit cringe. Kevin's nearly made 100k. The trouble for me is I can never be swatted, because we don't really, well, I guess I could. We've got armed police over here, but you have to go pretty hard to get swatted over here. Oi, mate, you got a license for that butter knife, mate? Well, yeah, but the thing is like, I never do it because I just, you know, but yeah, I'm sure it makes a lot of money for charity. I don't know, like a charity is necessary, like it is what it is. But I feel sometimes like charity will just be used to fill in gaps that the state should cover, really. It's the individualization of like, sometimes stuff which the state should be responsible for. IMHO. Asking for your change as you leave the store. You know what? I think I will donate to charity. Dropping the coins on the floor for the cashier to pick up. Anyway, let's not get into the weeds. But all right, what did Max have to say? Bella would message me constantly during the beginning of our friendship, and I felt coerced to reply. Right, come on, let's focus on finishing this. Bella would message me constantly during the beginning of our friendship, and I felt coerced to reply. We initiated a romantic relationship after months of constant persistence by her until I felt I had to comply, even though I did not feel comfortable, but I also didn't feel comfortable saying no because of trauma. She would coerce me into sexual actions and later use it to gaslight me about it, saying I can't be asexual because of what I did with her, even though I did not feel comfortable, but again did not feel comfortable saying no. She would beg me to move in with her no matter how many times I said no, never taken on... She would beg me to move in with her no matter how many times I said no, never taking a no for an answer, a clear pattern at this point. I moved in with her and a few other roommates because I was in a shitty situation and felt desperate to escape. I asked for a room for myself and she said she'd make sure this would happen, but then would force me to sleep in the same bed with her and Ali while they were naked, and I again felt uncomfortable, but she had taken me into the house, so I felt I had no choice. Okay. These are the people that fucking accuse you of like being a groomer and a pedo and an abuser and shit like that, by the way. Obviously, this is just testimony. No evidence. Obviously, there isn't going to be any evidence. But like, if this is true, it's kind of annoying that these are the kinds of people that will come at you so hard. And it's like, you know, obviously, you know, that was a bit of a meme, but it's like, fuck you. Like, look at what you're doing. It's all projection, yeah. I finally got my own mattress to sleep on and was guilted and coerced incessantly about sleeping with them, even though I tried to start settling down boundaries which were steamrolled. We broke up, after which she magically found a place for me to sleep and gave me a shitty uncomfortable futon to sleep on, with no help in getting something comfortable, even though I have chronic pain and illness that felt dehumanizing. After we broke up, she would guilt me about how much she is still in love with me and making me feel bad when boundaries were set but ignored. A conversation she would only initiate when we were alone that gave me massive anxiety. She did that several times. She repeatedly invalidated my asexuality as well as my disabilities when they inconvenienced her. She would talk over me and speak for me if I tried to set boundaries and gaslight me when I worked through my anxieties to say stuff that made me uncomfortable because I was coerced and didn't understand the trauma it caused and triggered at the time. My birthday last year, I told several people I wanted Applebee's for my birthday, and instead we had homemade burgers, which I don't eat, because Bella wanted it and never had consideration that it was my birthday and I should be allowed to have the option to eat what I want. threatening to kick me out because I established boundaries that she didn't like, and establishing my own autonomy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. This seems kind of crazy. This seems kind of crazy. But again, no evidence, just testimony. The thing is, even if there's no evidence, I guess the issue... I mean, the thing is like, this stuff is shitty. But this is like, what even is this? Oh, you wanted an Applebee's and you couldn't have one. Like, I don't know, man. That's crazy. Like, so fucking what? like, what am I supposed to say about that? That's like child level shit. God, I hope my son doesn't turn out like this when he's fucking older. Fuck me. I need to... I basically, I mean, he's already got a tablet. I need to work hard to make sure he never gets on the internet properly, basically, so he doesn't get fucking put into this fucking mental autism shit. Like, Jesus Christ. He's such a sweet little boy, and it's just like, obviously he's got like a few sensory issues and stuff like that. Just buy more Lego. It's funny, actually, because, you know the idiot savant meme, right? Well, I've got this memory from Christmas, right? Basically, my kids got these, like, you know, variety boxes of chocolate where it's got like different chocolate bars in, right? So the two neurotypical, whatever it's called, the ones that haven't got autism, they opened the box and they ripped it open and fucking, and it was gone. My autistic son, he's not autistic, he's on the spectrum, but anyway, he very carefully found where the box opened properly, because there was a little thing where you could open it up, unpeeled the flap, and opened it properly. And opened it like the flap up, like that. And it was very precise. And I was like, I thought in that moment, when you're old enough, I'm taking you to the fucking casino. That was what I was thinking. I need to take some matchsticks round next time and chuck them on the floor and be like, right, count those. How many's there? Okay, right. Then we've got the final piece to the puzzle. Then we get to the Alex Jones memes. Chud's little Rain Man. Narcissistic behavior leading to triggers that make communicating progressively harder. The manipulation of stating and reinforcing the need for a side-by-side, leading to the purchase of it in my name. The use of Camp Unicorn and other mutual aid work to make all of her choices appear as the only empathetic choice. Gaslighting about what she and others have said. Failure to accept criticism about triggering others in abusive behavior. Ableist comments directed at Max. Acephobic comments directed at Max. Refusal to accept people's requests to adjust volume and other aspects. Use of her disabilities as an excuse for others. Emotional manipulation. Failure to accept boundaries set by others. General ableism. Using presence to intimidate after it had been expressed that if she committed abusive behavior on people... Okay. Extreme anti-religious spiritual comments to the point of making it feel unsafe to express religiosity, spirituality. Divisive language to alienate housemates. Blaming people for not feeling safe coming to her. Control of finances through a combination of direct and indirect access to funds and lack of transparency about finances. Extremely defensive and counter-attacking when confronted on anything. Saying being asked to change behavior because it triggers people or makes them feel unsafe was asking her to mask at home and is unfair and harmful to her and hence can't be done. All boundaries set were pressured until said boundary lowered. Hypocrisy followed by gaslighting was called out. Anti-plural ableism specifically. Claiming some housemates were faking disability and sexuality. Invalidation and mental health needs of typical job working individuals in the house, followed by emotional manipulation abuse if they did something she thought was not helpful to the house. Emotional and financial abuse directed at those setting boundaries. Manipulative language to alienate people with depression. Comparison of what she used to be able to do to what others are able to do to invalidate their inability to do something. Use of outside crises to excuse and expand her ability to make unilateral decision. Manipulating people to agree to anyone she wanted to come over. Be able to come over while complaining about other people wanting to have people over. And continual expression of wanting to cut back and on other interactions. Infantilization of all housemates who didn't grow up houseless, having gone through conversion therapy, experience war and other stereotypical forms of trauma. Verbal abuse of anyone who disagreed or gaslighting, saying she was listening, reasonable and most rational. The minimization of others' trauma. Look what you made me do. I feel like this is the kind of thing where people put on this front about being deeply concerned with all the ableist kind of memes and shit. And then in reality, they're kind of treating it as anyone else would, as like a bit of a joke, as you're not trying hard enough, etc., etc., etc. That's what it comes across as to me anyway. Right, roommate number 2. Took advantage of me not being able to say no about anything with my inheritance of $35,000 and spending it all. I trusted Bella. Told Bella about my fear of German Shepherd. She talks me out of it and convinced me to say yes to getting chips. Manipulation and alienation from other members of the household. So basically, these people would rock up. Have I got this right? These people would rock up and they'd have $35,000 and they'd be like, right, here's some money for me to, spend the money collectively. Is that, have I got that right? I mean, that seems fucking insane to me. Why would you do that? Like, Jesus. End note. As it stands on our end, Camp Unicorn has been functionally terminated as a project. In case of resurgence, the members of the house are not involved with any project that Isabella Hammond, aka Izzybear713, is attached to, and heavily discourage participation in them, monetary or otherwise. As for the house, we are currently reassessing capacity, and we'll update everyone on the future of the commune when we have more to say. Thank you to everyone for all the love and support we've received thus far. We've been through a lot, but we will persist. And that's it. That is the drama, guys.